What's up, guys? I'm Ryan with Ryan Epps Fishing. Now, on today's video, we're gonna be out on Pickwick Lake. Now, this is not Pickwick Lake. This is Douglas Lake, but the video you're gonna see is gonna be Pickwick. Headed down to Pickwick last week. We got a few days on Pickwick, and tonight y'all gonna get evening number one. We got about a half a day out there on Pickwick. Gonna put the boat in the water, see what we can figure out about that place, and try to put a few of them bass in the boat. So it's gonna be a good time. Y'all sit back, relax. Hope y'all enjoy today's video. Basically, the goal of today, we've only got about a half a day today, and the goal today is just to kind of get a feel for this place. And I'm pretty confident we're gonna catch these fish out deep, but deep here is a whole lot different than deep at home. You know what I mean? You're dealing with traditional ledge fish here, for the most part. Current plays a whole lot bigger role here, and it's just a totally different ball game. So the goal for today is just kind of establish a depth range, and you know, kind of get us a few spots to run tomorrow. Looks like we're gonna get some current cranked up about 12 o'clock tomorrow. So the goal the rest of the day and the first part of tomorrow is just locate fish. That way when they kick that current on tomorrow and we start rolling, we can just kind of run through them and have us a little milk run that we can run through. There's just a solid first Pickwick bass of the trip right there. We got to get back in there. We found us a little school right here on a point, and got him on old crankbait. Let's see what we can do. big school yet. We haven't been graphing long. We found some fish. Found 2 small schools. That school back there that we caught them couple fish off of, I'm sure that's a community hole. I mean, that's a big obvious point out here on the ledge. Didn't have a ton of fish on it. Had a few. And we caught a couple. So, a little bit that I've seen so far kind of looks like 14 foot. Under these conditions, water clarity and stuff, 14 foot is going to be a player. But the goal this evening is not really to catch them. The goal this evening is just to get a feel for this place. Choking on those swim bait. I'll tell you what, them are some healthy fish right there. No doubt about that. Laying that ground work. Talking about, that's what I'm talking about. Woo! Get you some. So, evening number 1 out on Pickwick. We actually got kind of lucky. So, looking at the map there was a couple obvious spots on the map, undoubtedly community holes. However, given the time of day that we were out there, it was in the evening, it was low boat pressure, there wasn't many people out there. Number 2, you had a front rolling in. We were kind of dodging storms that evening. So pre-frontal, you know, working around those storms and stuff generally will help you with that bite. At least for me, what I've noticed, pre-frontal, you know, storms working around in the area can really get those fish fired up, especially those deep fish. Now, what I stumbled on out there on the first evening on Pickwick is when I started graphing some of those areas down there on a section of the lake that we were in, I was running across a lot of stumps, all right, a lot of big stumps out there, and he done hooked one. He got him that time. He's got his big. Come off again. I wish you'd set that hook and quit playing with him. He got that one. Hold please. Grind him in the boat. He take a drag. That's a big one. He got the biggest catfish in here. Get that sucker in. boat. I want that sucker boat flip right here. We gonna get back to Pickwick in a minute. Son, that ain't gonna work. What are you doing? Jeez. Hook them in the mouth, please.
I have to go here.
Let's get back to Pickwick. What was I saying? So, out there evening one, we started noticing the stumps. Now, we also started noticing some isolated fish in those stumps. All right, so you got community holes, currents hitting them, and we're gonna get into this a little heavier in later videos. Y'all got a couple Pickwick videos coming up, so we're gonna get into this a little bit heavier. But for right now, the deal was working those stumps, and with the front coming in, started out throwing some moving baits. Now, y'all saw me catch a couple fish out there on a crankbait. So the crankbait that we were working, we were just bringing it up that ledge, through those stumps. We done got him another one. We done got him fired up, and we sitting down here talking to a camera.
I redo.
You got that one?
I hit the redo button.
You got that one in the butt too, or is that one actually in the face? Oh, he's paddleboarding him across the boat. I ain't unhooking that one. I'll give you one. You can unhook the rest of them yourself. Crankbait, Strike King 8XD. All right. If y'all watched this channel at all, you know that color right there is a staple for me. I think color played very little role in catching the fish that we caught on the crankbait. Now, having said that, Pickwick did have a little bit of stain to it. So having that, Pickwick did have a little bit of stain to it, so that little bit of chartreuse right there undoubtedly helped. However, I think I probably could have caught them on just about any color that I threw over in there with the conditions the way they were. But one thing to note there, those community holes like that undoubtedly was. Most people are going to go straight to a 10XD. Very loud, very aggressive. A lot of times you can bump down to that little 8XD. It's smaller, it's got a little more subtle side-to-side wobble to it. It's got a little bit different sound. It's just a different crankbait. All right, it'll still get down there deep, and it's a different look. All right, so that was the deal right there. Now, what we were throwing. I swear.
I got him that time.
Oh, we gotta get done. I gotta go. What we were catching them, so the setup for my deep crankbait. You killing me. God, they're getting bigger too. The setup that we were throwing our crankbait on right there. All right, this is a Dixie Custom X-Glass cranking special. All right, this is a 7'10". All right, that's a fiberglass rod. Very, very good deep cranking setup. You can launch these baits a mile with it. This is a setup right here that you're going to see throughout the Pickwick videos, and you see me throw it all the time here on Douglas and stuff. The reel that I've got on there, it's a Diawa Tatula 150. I like the 150 over the 100s for this application right here because I like the deeper spool. All right, need a reel that's going to hold more line because you're going to be slinging that bait out there a mile, and you need a reel that will hold that amount of line capacity. So the 150 is what I'm going with there. 6-to-1 gear ratio reel. I keep it in that middle speed gear ratio for my crankbaits. We're throwing on that 12-pound fluorocarbon. All right. Now, we were also mixing in a Swimbait. The Swimbait that you all saw me throwing, that is a Zoom hollow body. It's a 5-inch Swimbait. We've got that paired up with my head of choice. That is a 1-ounce Ledgehead Lures Ledgehead. All right, it's got a 6/0 hook in it, and does outstanding on those Swimbaits right there. So y'all saw me catch a few on the Swimbait. Now we throwing that on a Duckett 7'6" heavy Micro Magic Pro. I've also got that paired up with a Diawa Tatula 150, the exact same reel that I'm throwing on my deep cranking setup. The star of the show really was a Carolina rig. We were slowing down when we was in those stumps, and I was dragging creature baits through those stumps. And those fish that were sitting at the base of those stumps, that's how we were catching those fish. The bait that you all saw me throw is pretty much a staple for me on a Carolina rig. If y'all watch the channel, you've seen me throw it a lot. It is a Strike King Space Monkey. It's a unique creature bait. It does very well on a lot of different things, but it excels on a Carolina rig for me. It's got a lot of kick, it's unique, and it flat out will put fish in the boat. I don't care if you're on Pickwick, I don't care if you're down in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, or Douglas. This bait right here will put fish in the boat, and it did our whole trip. So that was the Carolina rig. You all have seen that set up enough. I was bombing it out there. I was getting hung up a lot in those stumps, so I was losing quite a bit of line. So that's why you saw me take the Tatula off and put this reel on right here, because it holds quite a bit of line, and it does well for that. So throwing 12-pound fluorocarbon on the Swimbait, 12-pound fluorocarbon on the cranking rod, 14-pound fluorocarbon on the Carolina rig. All right, that's all I got for y'all today, guys. Until next time, y'all make some time, get out there on the water and catch you a few. I'm Ryan Epps. Y'all have a good one.